My name's Michelle Olgers. I'm the Director of Marketing and Communications at Virginia State University's College of Agriculture and Cooperative Extension. Extensions are an interesting program. Virginia Cooperative Extension is jointly managed by Virginia Tech and Virginia State University. What we do in Extension is we do research here at the university, and Virginia Tech does research as well, and we try to eliminate the risk element and the guesswork for the farmers. We do the research here at Randolph Farm or in our laboratories so that we can share with farmers the best way to deal with pest management or nutrient problems, trellising methods, so they can hit the ground running, growing or producing whatever it is they're growing or producing. So a field day like today's is one where we can share in one fell swoop in one location with a large number of people what we've learned through our research here at VSU.
My name is William Crutchfield. I'm the Director of the Small Farm Outreach Program here at Virginia State University. Today we had our annual Small Farm Outreach Field Day. It was a huge field day, quite a success. We probably had between 550 and 600 participants. Individuals came out. We had partnerships with USDA, and at this field day, small farmers from all over the state and surrounding states get an opportunity to come out to look at some of the activities that we've been conducting here at Randolph Farm in Pittsburgh, Virginia. We hold this event once a year. Normally it's the latter part of May or the 1st of June. Here at Randolph Farm we have a 2.6 acre plot of land that we conduct various studies for small farmers to see if they can grow various types of produce. And our goal at the Small Farm Outreach Program is to integrate or build a bridge between the small socially disadvantaged farmers and USDA. So today is part of one of those activities.
Hey Richmond, what have you been doing that's innovative, fun, and new? Lose that puzzled look. Check out What Works RVA TV weekly for a spotlight on people, places, events, and much more. Watch What Works RVA TV Tuesdays at 5 on CW Richmond.
My name's Melissa Thoner, and I'm currently working here at the Research Farm. I was a former student working with the Farm Stars program, working with production and marketing, and currently have a job as market manager for the Hopewell Farmers Market while also working here. I work with these people.
Hi, I'm Malcolm Galloway. Just recently graduated from VSU in May, and got a degree in agriculture, plant and soil science, and I've worked here at the Research Farm for 2.5 years, production, marketing, and we do a farm stand every 2 weeks and sell produce that we grow here at the farm and berries to the VSU faculty and staff, and trying to engage the VSU community in the local food movement.
I'm Bianca Gillum, and this is my first summer season at the farm. I'm a student at VSU, and I'm doing research with Dr. Raffi on the raspberries and grapes.
So a little bit about what we do. Basically, we plant about a half acre of vegetables here every year and start them in trays in the greenhouse and bring them out after the danger of frost passes. And we do all the production stuff, growing, trellising, pruning, all that stuff. With the vegetables, mainly the tomatoes require the most attention. We also work with the small fruit, Bianca with the raspberries, myself with the blackberries, and Melissa
With the blueberries. So this is my first year doing the blueberry research, and we have a lot of different varieties, probably like 50 varieties, 2 different fields worth, and some of them have recently started fruiting about 3 weeks ago in like mid-May, but we're looking to see the different yields, different fruit quality, just to kind of see what variety a farmer may want to grow and why or why not, and kind of take the guesswork out of what they're doing in terms of blueberry production.
And the same goes with the vegetable production. We get trial seeds from Seedway, the seed company, and we evaluate the seeds, basically the disease resistance, the pest resistance, how well they grow in Virginia, we send that information back to Seedway so that they can know a little bit more about how their seeds and how their vegetable crops will grow here in Virginia. We've taken all the skills that we've learned academically here at VSU and also working here at the farm and really put them to good use. We have this field day every year, and it's just good for farmers to come out here and see what we have going on, see basically what Melissa said, see what varieties of plants they'd like to grow and what's doing well here and just what works here. And that's really the gist of the field day.
The vegetables and produce that you see here are typically grown in seasonal high tunnels. In my region of Virginia, which is Southampton County, we have many growers who grow species like squash, zucchini, and cucumbers. The seasonal high tunnels are used to expand the growing season for your vegetables or whatever your crops are of interest. And here in Virginia, we have a national initiative under the EQIP, which is the Environmental Quality Incentives Program, where NRCS provides financial assistance to farmers and landowners who are interested in seasonal high tunnels. Here inside this seasonal high tunnel, growers are able to extend their growing season exponentially. They can get an early start or a head start over other growers in their region. The temperature is being regulated by opening up the sidewalls so the plastic can be rolled up or open to allow for air inside the structure. They've actually covered each row with plastic, as you can see here. This is actually going to help keep moisture at the root system. With the high tunnel, you're basically creating a controlled growing environment for whatever crop that you're growing. They can be used year-round. So there are people who grow winter crops like kale and some of our other cold crops in high tunnels. As you can see, for their spring production, they've grown things like strawberries, ginseng, and some other crops with the high tunnels.
My name is Ibn Rakib. I'm an intern for the Small Farm Outreach Program. I'm a agriculture business major. This is my second year working with the Small Farm Outreach Program. Right here I'm on the Kabuto tractor, which has been on the farm for a few years now, and we're going to implement the Easy Guide system onto the tractor, which will help us get a better understanding of how to explain to farmers, mostly small farmers, how the system could help them with their program or their practice on the farm. Kind of help take out a lot of the labor of wondering if they're wasting their resources as far as what they're putting on the field when they're spraying, for instance. You don't want to be spraying more than once on the same area. There's 13 projectors on this one, and the beauty of this is of going down the road, if you've already covered an area, it can cut off whatever valves that have already been through that area. So it's kind of I guess it's an easy way to farm. That's the best way I could put it.
I'm Robert Stallings. I'm Precision Ag Specialist with SciTech Mid-Atlantic, based out of Raleigh, North Carolina. We're here with Virginia State, explaining the use of our precision steering systems on a Kubota. Today we're using the Easy Guide 250. It's our basic light bar that ties into the Easy Steer, which is a servo motor, and ties in through a GPS antenna located on the cab of the tractor. It provides steering through a controller located on the back of the tractor. So on the screen, the operator will see the field with the active line and the extra lines depending on the width of their implement. Obviously, the wider the implement is, the further the lines will be spaced out. As the line turns red on the display, the operator will see his active line and he will engage the system, and that will tell the Easy Steer servo motor that it needs to start steering for him. The pin on the front of the motor is pulled out, allowing the motor to come in contact with the steering wheel. As the motor turns either left or right, it does steer the front axle for the operator. When the operator decides that they need to take control of the vehicle, it's extremely simple. All they either have to do is take their hand and simply turn the motor out, and it locks out, allowing the operator to return control with their hands, or simply disengage with a button on the display. Easy Guide 250 and the Easy Steer components, both the servo motor and the controller, which is located under the back of the operator seat, will set the average farmer back about $8,000 to $9,000. That's a fully installed turnkey, which includes installation and calibration and operator training, roughly $8,000 to $9,000.
This could be for differential GPS work, which means he's getting readings off of a satellite on the tractor. This is getting readings off the satellites being stationary. They talk to one another and it increases your accuracy. So what he's got probably is within 6 to 10 inches. When you're using differential, it's going to get you down to within 1 or 2 inches. And so it depends on the crop you're trying to grow as to whether you need this or not. If I was just mapping this farm, this is not necessarily needed because my line that I'm drawing on the map's 20 feet wide. But if I'm trying to reduce these skips and overlaps and what's green out here is where the sprayer skipped, then this might be something that helps increase our accuracy. The thing about it is this is all cost feasible for a small farm, whereas the lingo out here is, oh, if I don't have 5,000 or 10,000 acres, I can't afford this. But you can afford this. And so one of our jobs at the Department of Conservation and Recreation is to try to educate farmers on these practices that are cost feasible to them. I would like to thank Virginia State for allowing us to work with them and to be here for the field day event. It's always, this is our 5th year of attending this event. We're working closely with their extension agents, and if it wasn't for them, the small farmers would be paying a heavy toll. Great program, and we're here to help assist them and grow the program to reach more of the farmers. The purpose of us being here today is to explain to small farmers in Virginia that precision farming practices are cost feasible to them. We're looking to explain to farmers that we need to do soils testing for nitrates, and you can do that on crops when they need the nitrogen the most to determine what their needs are. All this is something that increases your bottom line and increases your efficiency. So one of the things that we teach is how to map your fields, and you can take a $100 GPS, follow our instructions, and you can determine, well, I thought that was a 20-acre field. You might find out that it's 18 acres. And this particular field behind us has 6 different soils on it. They need to be managed differently, and you might have a wet spot, and so you can zone map then, create with the GPS, and create the zones that we need to manage differently and help get a more uniform yield out of a field that has a lot of variability to it. So that would be where you start, was with a soils test and zone mapping, and then we would do several soils tests depending upon how many zones you have in the field. Then when your corn is about 12 inches tall, or when tomatoes are getting ready to bloom, cucumbers are getting ready to run, pumpkins are getting ready to run, you take a soil nitrogen test called free sidedress nitrate test and analyze that to determine how much nitrogen you really need. If you put all your nitrogen down when you plant, a lot of it gets lost to the environment. This helps the plant get the maximum nutrients that it can possibly use without wasting it. We have a handheld green seeker type of technology that you could walk in a horticultural crop. If you have a reference site that you know is not limiting in nitrogen, then you could reference all the rest of the stuff on your horticultural crop to the nitrogen-rich areas and determine nitrogen needs that way as fast as you can walk. Then one of the other technologies is remote sensing. Remote sensing is not something that's new. It's been used since World War I. But airtime is expensive. For the last 6 years I've been flying fields in the Shenandoah Valley in August to look at the corn crops, and airtime in a helicopter is about $850 an hour. When I group a bunch of them together, that's very cost feasible. But to do this farm, to leave Richmond, get here, take a picture of this farm, which I did last year, and get home's about $1,800. But If I drove up and I deployed this little UAV, get a picture, take 2 or 3 minutes, come back down, I can make a decision very quickly. The purpose of using this remote sensing information is for early detection. So we're looking for disease, bugs, that sort of thing early. It costs a lot of money to spray insecticide or fungicides on a field this size. When disease and bugs hit, they'll hit in a small spot. They're usually windblown and they spread out like a fire. If I can find that spot in early detection, we go out and spray the spot and a little buffer around it. Then I've saved a whole lot of money and time, diesel fuel, and pesticides on the rest of the farm. So this is kind of a leading technology that we're hoping will evolve to the point to assist farmer in making a real-time decision.
The technologies behind each of these, they all are equipped with RGB point-and-shoot cameras and also outfitted with selective near-infrared and infrared band cameras. And basically what this allows us to do is, in post-processing, tell the farmer where stress crops are in the field. And basically, once he has the epicenter of where the stress crops could be, he could walk the field, ground truth it, and understand how to treat the distribution of stress in his field accordingly. And basically what that does for the farmer is allows them to reduce their outputs and save money on their crop yields. The differences between each of these aircraft, up front here you have the multi-rotor class of platforms, and basically this allows you to sit and perch in your fields, observe things as they progress, and if a farmer were interested in something, he could actually stop the whole mission and observe the health of his crops. Whereas the fixed wing in the background would cover more large swaths of the field. He would basically send it up in the field and try to cover 100, 200, or 300 acres at a time. This is they're all custom outfitted for the purpose of farming applications. The one in the back is based on an RV jet fixed wing aircraft platform, and basically it would house a camera in each of these winglets. And there's actually, I can actually show you right here, there's a camera house in the front that's on a pan tilt system. This is a DJI S900 outfitted with the same 3DR Pixhawk autopilot system, and basically similar to the one back there, the payload is seat under the aircraft right here, and there's no camera or imaging system there currently. However, this will allow us to quickly change out based on the imaging or mission we want to accomplish. In front here we have the RG Copter platform. It's an X8 configuration, and this is actually an outfitted aircraft for a farmer being used in Topanhatic, Virginia right now. It's currently outfitted with a point-and-shoot camera in front and a real-time processor on board so that he can see the images and assess the health of his crops as the aircraft flies.
So we've gone all the way from the 70s where the farmer called and said, what's my rate, to having something that is real time. It's not 2 weeks old, it's not a month old, it's not a 3-year-old soil sample. This is the way it looked 10 minutes ago. And if we can get to the early detection phase, then any farmer can benefit from this. I have a research project ongoing with Virginia Tech. To anyone that collects images of their field will be able to send that information to a website at Virginia Tech. We'll enhance it to the point that it means something to them, and then they will know where to go into the field to be able to troubleshoot the areas. You'll always have to ground truth and do a little troubleshooting to see what the images are showing. We hope to have that up and going by the end of this year through the grant. So that's where we're heading. So everything that I'm doing and that DCR is doing for the small farms is to show them that we can do this on a voluntary basis. We can help increase your bottom line, and we can help you manage your nutrients effectively.
I am really thrilled that we're offering these pollinator packets today with seeds of different plants and flowers that you can grow in your garden to attract butterflies and bees, all of the pollinators that help us grow our ag crops, vegetables and things that we like to eat. In terms of what we're doing here today, we're at the Virginia State University Field Day, and there's a lot of folks interested in how to grow a pollinator garden. The Natural Resource Conservation Service, that's one of many things that we can help landowners with. And because these packets are easy to take home and just try out and plant maybe some cover for those beautiful butterflies and those very important honeybees that we need, we would love to have everybody come and get a packet.
So Virginia State University, through our cooperative extension programs, offers programs like this throughout the year. This is one of our big ones today, but we also have a couple of ones coming up that small farmers would be interested in knowing about. To begin with, on November 12th and 13th, we're having our 13th annual Virginia Small Farm Conference. Mark the calendar for November 12th and 13th. That's a very successful program we hold each year. Last year we had done it in one day, but we got requests to do it in two for this year, so we're gonna go back to a two-day format. The other event we're going to be holding actually in 2016 is the National Small Farm Family Conference. This is where small farmers, administrators, government officials involved in agriculture are all going to come to Virginia in 2016 on September 20 through 22 and learn from experts again on best management practices, opportunities for small farmers, and we want to make sure everybody knows about that and starts marking their calendar for that as well.